Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you are doing well. Welcome all in this new video lecture. Here we will see tuple variable in Python programming language. So without wasting any time, let's start the video. I have created a Jupyter notebook file. So you can see first heading is tuple. So it gives a small introduction about tuples. A tuple is another sequence data type in Python. It is similar to a list in terms of indexing and slicing, but it has a few key differences. Tuples are useful for storing collection of related values that should not be changed after they are created. So they can be used to represent like coordinates, dates, and other type of fixed data. Next is creating a tuple. So tuples are created using parenthesis and comma. A comma separates the values in a tuple. Below is an example. You can see I have created a tuple. The name is my tuple, and the values it has is 1, 2, 3. These three are numbers, but the next two values are strings. So if I print my tuple, so it will give me these numbers, these values. So the first is 1, 2, 3, and the fourth is 4, and the fifth is 5. So 1, 2, 3 are numbers, but 4 and 5 that are some words. So these will be string here. The next is accessing tuple values. So tuple values are accessed using indexing, just like we have already seen in the list. So here is an example. You can see if I write index as 0, so it will give me the first element, and if I write index -1, so it will give me the last element. So last element is 5, that is a string, and first element is 1, that is a number. If I run this cell, you can see the results is 1 and 5. So next is tuple slicing. So tuple slicing is also done same as we have already seen in the list. So here is an example for the tuple. So my start index is 1 and the end index is 4, and my tuple is same, my tuple, and if I see the length of this extracted or sliced portion, that will be end index minus start index. So end index is 4 and start index is 1, so the length will be 3 here, and the first element that will be extracted will be the element that is present at the start index of this original tuple. So start index is 1, and you can see at index 1 2 is present. So my first element will be 2 and next two element will be 3 and 4. So if I run this cell, you can see the output will be 2, 3, and third element will be 4, but this 4 is not a number, that is a string. So next is tuple packing and unpacking. So tuple packing is when we take values and pack them into a tuple, and tuple unpacking is the opposite, where we take a tuple and unpack it into individual values. Here is an example. You can see the first is tuple packing. So I already have created a variable that is my packed tuple, and it has some values. First is 1, second is 2, and third is 3. And if I print this my packed tuple, so these number will be packed in this variable. So you can see I did not declare any tuple here, but these numbers itself packed into a tuple. And this is the example of tuple unpacking. You can see I already have created 3 variables, that is a, b, c, and it is assigned it has been assigned the values of my packed tuple. So my packed tuple has 3 values, and those 3 values will go into a, b, and c respectively. So this is called tuple unpacking. So if I print this cell, you can get these two outputs. First is this and second is this. So first is 1, 2, 3, but this is a tuple, and the second output is 1, 2, 3, but these 3 are number. So these are the values of a, b, c. Moving to the next, that is tuple methods. So tuples have fewer built-in methods compared to the list. We have already seen these methods in the list, but we will see in this tuple also. You can see I have created a tuple named my tuple, and it has some values 1, 2, 2, 3, 2. So if I tell about first method, so first is count. So count return the number of times a specified values appears in the tuple. For example, if I write my tuple dot count 2, so this function will count total 2's in this my tuple. So you can see the output is 3 here because there are 3 2's in this my tuple. So if I run this cell, you can get the number is 3. Next is len. So len method return the number of element in the tuple. So for example, you can see there are 3 numbers in this tuple. So if I print this length, so length will be 3 here. So I will call this length function here. So len my tuple, and I will print the length. So if I run this cell, the output is 3. So next is sorted. So sorted returns a new sorted list from the items in an iterable. So here is an example. You can see I already created my tuple, and this time values are different, and I call this sorted method, and I created the sorted tuple on this new variable called sorted tuple, and I printed this, and you can see the output. So it will give me output as like this 1 1 2 3 3 4 5 5 6 9. So but this time you can see this is a list here. So if I print the type of, so if I print the type of this sorted tuple, you can see this time this output will be list, because sorted returns a list here. Next is min and max method. So first min returns the minimum values in the tuple, and max return the maximum value in the tuple. So here is an example. You can see I created a tuple called my tuple, and this time it has some values. You can see these are the values, and I called these two methods. First is min and second is max, and I stored those values in two different variables called min value and max value respectively, and I printed those min and max value. So you can see the min value has min value from this my tuple, and max value has max value from my tuple. If I run this cell, you can get the output as 1 comma 9. You can see 1 is my min value and 9 is my max value. Next is index function. So index function returns the index of the first occurrence of a specified value in the tuple. So for example, you can see here, this time my tuple is having some different values. It has 1 2 3 4 5 in that, and I call this index function. So index function will return me the index of that specified value that we have given. So this time we have given a specified value as 3, and we will get the index of this 3 value. So index of this 3 value is 0 1 2. So the index is 2 for these 3 values. So if I run this cell, so I will get output as 2. The next is any and all method. So it returns true if at least one or all of elements in a tuple respectively evaluate to true. Otherwise they return false. So you can see my tuple is true, false, true. Basically it has 3 boolean values. First is true, second is false, third is true. So I call this first function, that is any, and I store the value that is being written here in any true variable. And similarly I call this second method, that is all, and store the value that is returning in this all true variable. So I printed this any true and all true variable. You can see the output will be true and false respectively, because you can see in first method where we are searching only one true value. So you can see my tuple has 2 true values, so it will give me automatically output as true. But in the second method where we are searching that my tuple should have all these values as true, but you can see my second value is false, so this will give me as output false. If it has all 3 values as true, then my output would have been true for this all method. But the case is different here. So my output will be true for this any true variable, and output will be false for this all true variable. Next is immutable nature of tuples variable. So tuples are immutable in nature, which means once a tuple is created, we cannot change its values, and this is different from list, which can be modified after creation. For example, you can see my tuple is equal to 1 2 3, but if I use indexing here and I try to change the value of second element, that is 2, so it will give me an error, that is type error. So if I run this cell, you will get a error, because these tuples are immutable in nature, so it cannot be changed after they are created. It is similar to the we have already seen in the string. So string variables are also immutable in nature. It cannot be changed after they are created. So that's all I think from this tuples variable in Python. So the conclusion is tuples are a type of data structure in Python similar to the list, but with a few differences, such that tuples are immutable, meaning that once they are created, they cannot be changed, and they are created using parenthesis instead of a square bracket, and they can contain any type of data. I will wrap this video here only. Bye bye. Take care.